What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week, and this episode is going to be a little different from the usual ones. So, at the time of recording this, it is Thanksgiving, which, for me, I don't have any plans today, so I'm just chilling recording this video, but I know for many of you, it's the day after Thanksgiving, you probably either got some Black Friday shopping to do, or maybe you're still hanging out with your families, so what I would like to do is deliver the same amount of news that I would normally would in an episode, but we're going to keep things rather condensed today. We're just going to tell the stories and move on so I can get you guys the news and get you guys back to whatever else you were doing before this. You got me? Sit back, relax. As always, there's chapters down in the description as well as on the time bar there. If you scroll through the video, they should show up there. You can just, skip to whatever stories you're actually interested in hearing just to save you some even more time, but let's get into this. First things first, I have all the major game releases from the last week according to Metacritic. So on November 26th, we had Nine Souls, which was available before, but now the console version's released, and on November 25th, we had Void Crew, which was available before, but is now leaving early access, and yeah, that's it. Pretty quiet week. That's typically how it goes around the holidays. Next up, Brotato is free on Epic Games. This will be free until December 5th at 11 a.m. EST, so you might as well redeem it because there's no better price than free. Also, this game is awesome. Next up, I got the December PS Plus Essential Games for you guys, those being It Takes Two and Aliens Dark Descent, as well as Temtem. Three awesome games right there. Next up, some new games were added to Nintendo Switch Online. So they actually had like a whole bunch of games go in there like over the course of a couple of days, but it was like multiple drops, which is pretty cool. So first up on the Game Boy section, we had Donkey Kong Land 1 and 2 go in there. Again, those went in at different times, but both of those are available now. And then in the Sega Genesis section, we had Toe Jam and Earl and Panic on Funkotron, Vector Man, and Wolf of the Battlefield Mercs. So 5 awesome games right there, and some great additions to Nintendo Switch Online. Next up, the RollerCoaster Tycoon Classic Switch port was announced. They put up a trailer and the description reads, quote, "For the first time ever, the definitive RollerCoaster Tycoon Classic experience is available to experience on Nintendo Switch. This is the classic game you remember playing with an updated UI and controls to give you total control over your parks. RollerCoaster Tycoon Classic is coming to Nintendo Switch on December 5th, end quote. So you heard it here first, December 5th, you'll finally be able to play this game on your Switch. And let me just say, I have a lot of love, memories, and nostalgia for this game, and I highly recommend it. Next up, Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O, or R.E.V.O, however you're supposed to pronounce it, was announced. This is coming from Gamatsu. Quote, "Sega has announced Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O for PC through Steam. It is based on Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown for PlayStation 4, adding a number of new elements including rollback netcode, 4K graphics at up to 60 frames per second, and game balance adjustments. It will launch this winter alongside a version 2.0 game update for Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown," end quote. So basically, this is very similar to, the dozens of editions of Street Fighter 2, for example, or, for Street Fighter 4, how we had, Street Fighter 4, and then, Super Street Fighter 4, and then the arcade edition and all that. It's basically just like that, it's like an updated version of the game with some tweaks, as I had mentioned, and at higher graphics and frame rates that you can play at now. So, again, this will be releasing sometime this winter, no official date, which is kind of concerning considering the fact that, winter's coming up, and that obviously only lasts for a few months, so hopefully we get a date on this soon, but as soon as we learn that, obviously I'll let you guys know, and yeah, this is super exciting. Virtua Fighter 5 is an awesome game, and I can't wait to get my hands on this. Next up, Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective was announced. It's coming from IGN, quote, "Nintendo is releasing Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective, a 212-page hardcover art book that delves into the creation and evolution of the Metroid Prime trilogy. Partnering with Payback, the book is set to launch on July 31st, 2025. The premium collectible is priced at $49.99 USD, with pre-orders now available at a slight discount from Amazon. The anthology spans over 20 years of Metroid Prime history, offering insights into the series' development, including behind-the-scenes notes and anecdotes from the teams who brought the trilogy to life. There's also exclusive developer interviews, commentary from key creators, and a foreword by Metroid Prime producer Kensuke Tanabe," end quote. So this is really cool, and I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on this as soon as possible. When I checked, it wasn't out of stock, surprisingly, so it should still be there if you want to get your hands on this. I'd be careful because you never know. It doesn't release until July 31st, though, and with it just being an art book, I mean, it's hard to say, I don't know how many of these things are going to be printed. I don't know if it's, printed to order, if you know what I mean, but hopefully it doesn't go out of stock. Again, I want to get my hands on this. This does sound really, really cool. You gotta love anytime that Nintendo shows some love to Metroid Prime. Not just, to the fans, but also just Metroid Prime in general, considering how long we've been waiting for Metroid Prime 4. We're, grasping for anything right now, and even if it's just something like an art book, for behind-the-scenes stuff for the original trilogy, it's much appreciated, and again, can't wait to get my hands on it. Next up, the official PlayStation History Timeline was released. So they put up a website which you can find by Googling PlayStation History Timeline. It'll be the first result on the official PlayStation website, and it goes over everything from PlayStation history. I'm talking consoles, handhelds, accessories, everything. It's genuinely like really cool, and I just wanted to highlight this for anyone out there like me who loves learning the history behind my favorite games and consoles just about as much as I do actually playing them. Next up, The Witcher 4 is officially in full-scale production. This coming from Video Games Chronicle, quote, "Production on the fourth Witcher game has begun, CD Projekt has confirmed." Quote, "I'm pleased to announce that several weeks ago it moved on to full-scale production." Chief Financial Officer Piotr Nielubowicz said of the game, which is codenamed Polaris, as part of the company's latest quarterly earnings results. "Of all our projects, this one is currently the most far along, and we're starting the most intensive phase of development. Quote, I wish to thank the team, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for further progress." Game director Sebastian Colombe also said in a post on X, quote, "I'm thrilled to announce that Project Polaris has entered the full-scale production phase. With new challenges just around the corner, it's the talented and hardworking people who make me believe we can together make the upcoming Witcher saga a remarkable experience. No stopping now. Stay tuned for what's on the other side of the coin." End quote. So this is very exciting. The Witcher 3, obviously, it's been almost a decade, believe it or not, since that game released, but we did have the next-gen update a few years ago after those consoles released, and that's been like just enough to tide us over. I'm so excited for this game. It's pretty interesting, too, because obviously there's a lot of Witcher 3 fans out there, but it's kind of astonishing just how many people haven't even gone back to play The Witcher 2, let alone The Witcher 1. So obviously we already know there is a Witcher 1 remake in the works, so hopefully that comes to us sooner rather than later. As for The Witcher 2, it is still backwards compatible on modern Xbox consoles, Xbox One, Series X and S and all that. But on the PlayStation side of things, not really a way to play that over there at the moment. So hopefully that game can get a remaster or some sort of re-release so it can get some love before Witcher 4 releases. But otherwise, I just wanted to let you guys know that, yes, Witcher 4 is officially in full-scale production, and I'm so excited. Next up, the Golden Joysticks Game of the Year winner was announced. So this coming from Golden Joysticks on X, quote, "Our final award, the ultimate game of the year, it's the big one, and the winner is Black Myth Wukong. Congratulations," end quote. So obviously this isn't like the, like the game of the year for the Game Awards, like the big show or anything like that. That's still a couple weeks away yet, but this is for the Golden Joysticks, which always happens towards the end of November. So there it is. Black Myth Wukong won the Golden Joysticks Game of the Year award. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 6 got teased at the Golden Joysticks Awards. Now, and Rockstar's just being dirty now, so that's coming from PC Gamer. Quote, "The 42nd annual Golden Joystick Awards are over, the winners have been announced, and Black Myth Wukong has walked away with the big Ultimate Game of the Year award. Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did very well for themselves this year too, claiming 4 awards each, and Rockstar used its one win, for most won a game, naturally, to tease absolutely mind-blowing things coming in Grand Theft Auto 6. Quote, "There's an incredible amount of people doing amazing things on GTA 6, absolutely mind-blowing things," Rockstar's David Manley said while accepting the reward. "So it's an honor to be able to come up here and accept this award on everyone's behalf. I wish more of us could be here. Thank you very much, everybody, and yeah, more to come." End quote. So, again, like, they can accept the award, and they can tease it, and then that's it. It's just, just stop dropping these teasers. I just want to play the game, and if what they said is to be believed, if the game doesn't end up getting delayed like every other Rockstar game ever, we're less than a year from GTA 6 coming out, and that is just absolutely insane. But it's like, yeah, we know we're going to be getting mind-blowing things. Just let us play the mind-blowing things already, please. Next up, the Nintendo Switch eShop is shutting down in China. This coming from the official Nintendo Switch website, translated to English. Quote, "The Nintendo Switch in China will gradually stop the Nintendo eShop and other network-related operating services from March 31st of 2026 to May 15th, 2026. At the same time, to thank you for your continued use and support, we are now launching a reward plan for all Nintendo Switch users in China." And then they have a bit of a timeline under that says, at 2200, aka 10 p.m. on March 31st, 2026, Nintendo eShop will stop selling games and tool software. After this date, free trial games and free tool software will no longer be available. And then at 2200, aka again 10 p.m. on May 15th, 2026, Nintendo eShop will stop download services and redemption code redemption services. Except for the Nintendo eShop, other network-related services will also be terminated at 2200 on May 15th, 2026. Man, less than 2 years away. Obviously, China's a bit of a different ball game when it comes to video games. We'll say they have a lot of different rules and regulations, and there was even like a 10-cent logo at the top of this. So yeah, things are way different in China, even for like Nintendo and such. So It's still unfortunate, but just in case I have any Chinese viewers out there, then figured I'd let you guys know about this unfortunate news. Again, I'm not really sure why this is happening. They didn't even necessarily say in that post. Again, I don't know if it's due to some of China's rules or regulations, or if it's just Nintendo saying, hey, you know, after this point, we're going to be on to something else, so we're just going to discontinue this, but it's just, let's just hope that this isn't a sign of things to come for us in the West. I would hope not. That is way too soon. And finally, Shuhei Yoshida is leaving Sony. This coming from PlayStation Blog, where they held an interview with him. Quote, I guess the interviewer's name was Sid, so anytime I say Sid, then that's the interviewer, and anytime I say, you know, Shuhei, or in this, they just have it labeled as Shu, so Shu, then that would obviously be Shuhei Yoshida giving the response or answer. So first, Sid asked, happy to have you. We're going to do a lot of catching up, but I heard you had some news for us today. To which Shu responded, yes, I have an announcement to make. I'm leaving Sony Interactive Entertainment on January 15th of 2025. It's like announcing the launch date of a new game or something I haven't done for a long time, at which point he laughed, and then Sid says, you've been with Sony Interactive for so long, what's guiding the decision and the timing? To which she responded, I've been with PlayStation from the beginning, and this is my 31st year with PlayStation, and when I hit 30 years, I was thinking, it may be about time for me to move on. You know, the company's been doing great. I love PS5. I love the games that are coming out on this platform. And we have new generations of management who I respect and admire, and I'm so excited for the future of PlayStation. So, you know, PlayStation is in really good hands. I thought, okay, this is my time. End quote. So I guess it really is as simple as that. You know, he's been with the company for over 3 decades at this point, which is, you know, that's a really long time, not just in general, but, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, working in a place or, you know, being with a company or one thing or another. Obviously, Shuhei Yoshida is a huge name over there at Sony. He's been all over the place, leading different things, being a part of different departments and such. This is definitely one of those people in the video games industry where I can say, hey, if they deserve a break, if they deserve to, you know, just kind of move on, and, you know, even if he would just, you know, sit on his piles of money that I'm sure he has from being at such big positions over at Sony, you know what I mean? You know, even if he just kind of ride off of what he's made from all his time there at Sony, I would say that he definitely deserves it with all of the work and, you know, just amazing things that he's brought to all of us over the years, especially on the indie side of things, because, you know, in the last couple of years here, that's really what he's been a part of over at Sony, is like their indie games initiative, which, you know, a lot of those like smaller scale indie games that end up coming out of Sony and PlayStation and such are just, you know, really cool. Genuinely some of my favorites. But anyways, yeah, it seems like there's been a bit of a shakeup over there when it comes to like management and such within the last couple of years. First Jim Ryan and now this and some other names that we've heard. So I wish nothing but the best to Shuhei Yoshida and Godspeed. But anyways, that is all the stories that I have you guys this week. So yeah, that's where we'll conclude things here. Hopefully I kept things pretty condensed. I know I kind of broke off at some points and broke my rule and ended up giving some of my opinion pieces and such and talking about certain things, but I can't help it, man. You know, I cover this gaming news because I love talking about the gaming news, so I can't help but, you know, give my thoughts on things sometimes, but I did my best to keep it as condensed as possible. But anyways, hope you ate some good turkey yesterday. Hopefully your stomach is recovering well, and I don't know, do some good Black Friday shopping today or hang out with your family. Whatever it is, you know, again, that's that for me. So I'll let you guys go now. As always, new episodes of WGC come out every single week, Friday mornings, 9 a.m. EST, same day, same time, every single week. I love to have you here, but anyways, yep, that's that. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.